Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist, season 1, episode 1. Snow gives way. Um, wow, this episode was pretty interesting. I mean, uh, so far it's not my favorite of the Netflix shows. But I definitely am interested in it. Definitely is intriguing. I don't think I have a burning desire to watch the second episode as much as I did for all the other shows. Like Jessica Jones or Daredevil. But this episode was still pretty fun. Maybe it's just because partial of my cold and stuff, and it's really like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. now, and I'm watching this. So, but it was definitely quite interesting. The martial arts was kind of cool in this. It seems a little bit overdone sometimes with the martial arts, like not overdone, like little flamboyant and stuff. And there was a scene where he jumps over a car and stuff, and it's kind of like it looked a little fake and stuff. But other than that, it's still kind of interesting. It still has me kind of intrigued for the rest of the season. I was disappointed, though, that there's no Iron Fist in this first episode. You don't see him use the fist or anything like that. That would have been nice to see maybe if he had been attacked by these guys at the end of the episode rather than right in the middle of it, and then he could have really used the Iron Fist to kind of send them flying or something like that. That would have been cool, or send a door flying or something. Definitely can't wait to see how that goes. But I'm expecting to see it probably in the second episode. So yeah, it definitely was it seems fun, but so far it's just kind of got me like I guess the story is intriguing so far. But there's not much Iron Fist to it so far from what I can see, other than we haven't seen much of Kunlun, we haven't seen much of we've seen a little bit of Danny and stuff. He's just trying to convince his friends that he is who he says he is and stuff. So it's definitely interesting to see him get out of this mental hospital in the second episode and see where things go on from there. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys, about the first episode of Iron Fist if you've seen it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.
Hey guys, I just finished watching Iron Fist, Season 1, Episode 2, Shadowhawk Takes Flight. This episode was pretty cool. The ending was pretty awesome, obviously, finally seeing him use his Iron Fist. Some of the stuff in the mental hospital was kind of interesting. I don't know, I just wish I'd like to see a little bit more martial arts from him. I feel like we haven't seen that much martial arts, and almost none in this episode, since he was in this place the whole time. So it's going to be interesting to see where things continue on from here, and how he becomes more of the Iron Fist. And I guess, understand the idea of him not being able to control it. And it is quite interesting that they're making Kunlun being a dimensional place and stuff, that you can only get there once every 15 years type thing. And very mystical aspects of this are getting pretty interesting. And I really liked it's finally cool seeing him, like I said, using his Iron Fist and stuff and doing some things. But it's really cool seeing what's his face, Joy being finally figuring out that it actually is him, Danny Rand and stuff. So it's gonna be interesting to see where things continue on with this, and then Colleen Wigg's interaction with this, and then we haven't seen Claire Temple yet. Definitely can't wait to see her in this. So it's definitely gonna be fun to see where things continue on from here, and how people get involved more, like Colleen Wing and stuff like that. How they're gonna continue. I'd only assume that Iron Fist, Danny Rand is going to go see Colleen Wing and try and hang it with her, or maybe Joy or something like that. Definitely can't wait to see where he goes and see how he figures things out from here. So definitely is fun. I definitely can't wait to see where things go on here. But so far, it's not the same. I prefer Daredevil so far before this, Daredevil and Jessica Jones. Right now, I'm not sure if I prefer it over Luke Cage. So far, I think I kind of prefer Luke Cage, just because that first episode of Luke Cage ended with that awesome fight, which was pretty cool, and then the explosions and all that stuff. There was a lot more to endings to this, whereas this was just, last episode was an okay ending, whereas this episode was kind of a little bit more interesting with the Iron Fist, but which is kind of a cool ending, not like a, oh my god, I can't wait to see what happens next episode ending type thing. But I definitely can't wait to see where things continue on from here. So let me know what you think, guys, about episode 2 of Iron Fist, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist, Season 1, Episode 3, Rolling Thunder, Cannon Punch. this episode was pretty interesting. It was finally nice to have an actual cliffhanger for the end of this episode, not just kind of go into the next episode and stuff. I feel like this is the biggest cliffhanger we've had, although it's obvious that, he's not going to die from the fall because, he's in Defenders and the rest of the season, he's not going to die in episode 3. But so far I feel like this show, compared to all the other shows, it's very slow and building up. And, Luke Cage had these cool episodes where he would just go in and get shot at and things would be bouncing off. And it was just pretty cool seeing him using his super strength. Whereas this, he uses his punch once or twice an episode, like once an episode mostly. And then, it just happens. There's not enough action in this. It seems to be very slow and very just dealing with him trying to get his company back and stuff like that. So I definitely can't wait to see how he's used in the Defenders. But so far, this is just getting really slow and just kind of, not like it's dragging on. I am kind of into it and stuff, but there's just nothing saying like, oh, I need to watch it. It's so awesome, and everyone needs to watch it. It's not that compared to Daredevil and stuff like that. And just in comparison, I feel like it just really slowed down. It is just a bit slow. But this episode is a little interesting, with the guy trying to, he's trying to find his pieces and trying to find evidence that he is who he says he is. He is Danny Rand and all that stuff, and that's pretty kind of somewhat interesting, but it's just not what you expect from a Iron Fist kung fu. You expect like a kung fu show and stuff, and there's really not much of it in here. He's done a few kung fu moves, but I don't know. Just the kung fu looks a little silly in this. But I'm waiting for my brother to watch it, who has done some jiu-jitsu and stuff, so maybe he'll be able to see what he thinks about it, and get his opinion once I talk to him. I think we might be doing a season recap once we both watched it, so definitely get his opinion on that. But overall, it's going to be interesting to see how he survives this fall and stuff. If he did really fall or something, I don't know. But I think it would be cool to see him if he does catch himself using his Iron Fist. Maybe he uses his Iron Fist and just goes down, straight down, creates a crater or something like that. That would be cool, as if he did something like that. But I doubt that they'll do something like that in the episode 3. So, yeah, this episode was kind of interesting. I still understand the hawk thing that keeps on going around the bird and things. Don't understand that yet. But then that's just because I'm tired and stuff, and I still have a bit of my cold. So maybe it's just difficult to process. But I don't know. It's just interesting, and I find it weird that no one else is online is reviewing this show. So I'll have to wait and see if other ones put it on. They're all watching it all in one shot. So let me know what you think, guys, about episode 3 of Iron Fist in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist season 1 episode 4, 8 diagram dragon palm. This episode was a little bit better. The fight scenes were kind of cool. I just feel like it was a perfect opportunity to do another cool hallway fight scene, this time in a bit of light and stuff like that. With all these axes and stuff, and really make it a long fight scene, just like Daredevil in season 1 and season 2. We got those awesome fight scenes. Yet in this one, it was just kind of it was good. It was really interesting, but it was in comparison to all the other shows, it was not the same. In Daredevil, which is awesome because it's always one shot and it's all these epic fight scenes and stuff. And then even in season 2, it ended with a cool backstory of Punisher and stuff like that. So in this and in Luke Cage, it was pretty cool. The fight scenes were pretty cool because he was just knocking off guys like it was nothing, like they were flies, because he has his superpowers and stuff, and that's what's pretty cool. He picks up the chair, he picks up a couch at one point, he swings it around, he takes a car door and uses it, and he's just deflecting bullets, he's pushing down doors, he's doing all kinds of stuff like it's nothing, like he's just swatting them, and it's pretty cool seeing that. In this, Iron Fist is there, and it's like, here's this opportunity to use the Iron Fist and, show Joy that he can, what he is or something like that, and that would be really cool for her to see that, and I want to see her reaction to this, but no, we still don't get her doing that, and he doesn't use his punch, and I was hoping to see something, I don't know. I was hoping him to use his punch and really to see for people to notice it, or when he used his iron fist and the guy broke the axe over his fist and stuff. She didn't recognize it. I was hoping that she was going to recognize it and just going to be like, oh, and then just kind of pass it on. He was just going to be like, no, you didn't see anything, type thing. And I think that would have been interesting to see her just kind of see that, but not know what she saw, and then just kind of okay, and then slowly see clues as to what's going on with him, and not knowing what to think about it, about the whole thing. So, but she didn't see that, so that was kind of annoying there. And it was interesting now finally seeing Madame Gao. I don't know why there was so much, like kind of hiding her throughout this whole episode and the other episodes. I mean, we clearly know who it is. If you've seen Daredevil, you know who it is. But I guess it's because, the character in this, he doesn't know who Madame Gao is or anything like that. So definitely is cool. I definitely like now that we got the packets things from Daredevil season 1 and stuff in season 2. It's definitely going to be fun to see where, Iron Fist now going up against the Hand. Hopefully this can build up towards that. But I definitely can't wait to see how this show kind of ends, because it's not going to end with him cleaning up the Hand. We know that the Hand is going to be the villains for the Defenders. So it's going to be interesting to see how things continue on from here, and how soon we get to see Claire Temple, how she comes involved in this, and how we get to see her introduce him to any of the other characters and stuff like that. That's going to be interesting to see if we see them at all in this. I think that would definitely be cool to see this. Maybe at the end on episode 13, we can get hidden scene after that, being a little teaser for Defenders. That would be cool, but I feel like it would have popped up by now online if that was at the end there. But so definitely seems like it's building up. The first half is really slow, not much martial arts. Now it looks like it's building up, and it's definitely going to be fun to see Iron Fist go up against these guys with these swords and stuff like that. It's going to be fun to see where things go with that, and how things build up to, as we slowly get closer to Defenders as this season goes on. So definitely seems like there's potential for it to continue on. I wish there would have been a nice, cool, long hallway fight scene and one shot type thing like they did in Daredevil, but they missed their opportunity. They blew their opportunity in this episode to do it. Now there could be one in another episode, but I mean, they showed this fight heavily in the trailer, so it seems to me that there's probably not another big fight episode, other than maybe in the last episode that they won't spoil or anything like that. But we'll have to wait and see if it does compare to Daredevil season, any of the Daredevil hallway fight scenes, because so far nothing has, or not even the Luke Cage ones, which are just kind of fun to watch because he has his powers and stuff. But it's kind of interesting. So hopefully, I think I'm starting to like it a little bit more these episodes, but it is a bit slow at the beginning. So yeah, let's see where things go from here. So let me know what you think, guys, about episode 4 in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist Season 1, Episode 5, Underleaf Pluck Locus, or something like that. Well, this episode was really fun. Episode 5 was really interesting. It was cool seeing Iron Fist and Colleen going, looking out for things and finding out what they found out, and seeing how things, and meeting Claire Temple for the first time in this episode. That was pretty cool. It was really cool seeing how when they mentioned the Hand and how her reaction to that, and that's definitely really interesting. And I definitely can't wait to see. It definitely gets interesting to see how. I mean, we know what to happen on Daredevil season 2 and with the Hand and all that stuff. So it's definitely gonna be interesting to see. It almost makes me feel like when Claire was talking about it, it was just like, is Iron Fist gonna get like brutally beaten up in this? Is he gonna go into the Defenders like with something wrong, like a broken leg, or I don't know, is he going to be crippled going into Defenders, and that's how he's going to be doing it, and maybe there will be some sort of a time jump in between Iron Fist and Defenders, allowing him to heal, because I did watch a few videos on like facts about Iron Fist and things like that, how he could heal himself using his chi. And so I think if there was like, a month in between the end of Iron Fist and Defenders, that could give him enough time to heal from something super duper kind of like super, if he gets beat up and it ends the season with him almost crippled or something like that, but he heals in like within a month or something like that. I think that could be pretty interesting to see if we go into that. I mean, I don't know if he's going to end up being like that. It looks like he's based off of set photos and release photos that we have from the Defenders. It looks like he's going to be pretty heavily involved in that. So I doubt that he'll be beat up like that. But there could be some sort of way. There has to be a way to end this season without him having defeated the Hand and stuff like that. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how they set the Defenders up as we get into the almost the second half of the season. So it's definitely going to be cool to see where things go. I really loved this episode a little bit more. It was really cool seeing a lot more fighting and stuff, a lot more things. And I was surprised that when they were at the dock and stuff like that they didn't run into Daredevil or something like that. Although there actually wasn't any drugs in the dock, so maybe that's why Daredevil wouldn't have been there, or even maybe the Punisher or something like that. But I guess Daredevil would have been surprised if we didn't run into him and seeing what he's doing. But I guess he's still dealing with hanging out with Karen Page after he just told her that he's Daredevil and stuff like that. But that's to be a different topic. Yeah, this episode was pretty cool. It was cool seeing Claire Temple, like I said, seeing her training and seeing how everything went and finding out a little bit more about Danny and how he took a vow of abstinence and all that stuff, and seeing the relationship between him and Collingwood going places but don't going places. That's kind of like their relationship right at this point. Now it's kind of starting to get interesting. I think now that things are picking up and rolling around, I think things are starting to get a little more interesting. I love it. There's a lot more fighting, and I'm glad that someone else now saw his Iron Fist and how he's doing his stuff now that he's so Collingwood is definitely going to be interested to see how things go with this, and see if Collingwood is going to be in part of the Defenders. If I'm not mistaken, I think I have seen some set photos where she looks like she is a part of it, but she's not in any of the big photos. So I'm wondering if maybe she gets injured in this, and that's how that's why he goes to Claire and is like, oh, someone else who can help me with this, and she could like, I got a bunch of people who could help you with this and type thing. I think that's going to be interesting to see where that goes and how much more we get of Claire Temple throughout the rest of this season. So it's definitely is ramping up, and I love it, and I think it's getting way more interesting at this point into the show. So definitely can't wait to see where it continues on from here. So let me know what you think, guys, about episode 5 in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace! Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist Season 1, Episode 6. The Immortal emerges from the cave. Wow, this episode was pretty cool. It was really cool seeing Iron Fist kind of going through the Hand and kind of slowly building his way up, and then finding out what's going to happen with the Hand, and hearing Madame Gao and stuff like that, and hearing her talk about how she has her master she looks up to, and she everyone talking about someone who's higher than Madame Gao, and so far we've only ever seen Madame Gao as the highest one of the Hand. So I wonder if that's who she's talking about is going to be Sigourney Weaver's character, and that's going to be interesting to see if we see her, if not in this episode, because I feel like, with the timing that they filmed this in New York Comic Con, but she was there and stuff, so I feel like there could be a possibility she could be in like the last scene for the last episode or something like that. Could be possible, but we'll have to wait and see. Definitely going to be interesting to see how things continue on from here and how it builds up again to Defenders, and it really is definitely interesting. I definitely love it, and I'm starting to like this season. This half of the season is starting to get good as things are more actiony and stuff like that. And it was really cool seeing Claire. And she said the Luke Cage line there, "Sweet Christmas." That was pretty awesome. I love that. So yeah, I just really loved this episode. A lot of action, a lot of him fighting and stuff, and talking to his monks and stuff while he's fighting and all that, and that's pretty cool. And then seeing him finally use the Iron Fist and just shatter the sword and stuff, or the blade of that thing, and it was pretty cool to see that. And I love all the different weapons that they used and stuff. Looks pretty cool. Definitely like where it's going. Definitely can't wait to see as things continue on from here, how we build up to Defenders and stuff like that. And I was surprised with a few episodes ago we got to look at Jerry Hogarth, but we didn't get what's his face there from Daredevil. I forget his name, but Foggy Nelson. We didn't get him because he is working for Hogarth and stuff now that since we've seen him since we last saw him in Daredevil season 2. So it's gonna be interesting to see where things continue on from here. We still have 6 episodes yet left, and he's already kind of almost defeating the hand and stuff. But it's just going to be interesting to see where things go from here and how far does he go back, and does he end up fighting Madame Gao? If Madame Gao was all that powerful, is able to launch him back without even touching him. What is Sigourney Weaver going to be like when we introduce her? So that's going to be fun to see where we get to her in Defenders and stuff like that. So really excited for this. Definitely can't wait to see where things continue on from here. And I love the whole aspect, with trying to find this guy's daughter, and then we find it and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting to see. And then now, trying to find the guy now that I guess the hand has him, the chemist, back, but he's almost dying or something like that. So I guess they're going to bring him back to life using their immortal thing that they've done twice to a few people. There's going to be interesting to see how they do that to the chemist, and what's going to happen with him now that his daughter is safe or something like that, and how they're going to do it. They're probably just going to kill him now that they know that his daughter is free or something like that. So we're going to have to wait and see, though, how things turn out. So let me know what you think, guys, about episode 6, if you've watched it, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist Season 1, Episode 7, feeling with the tree roots. Wow, this episode was pretty interesting. That ending, I did not see that one coming. I saw the reverse and stuff. I just really love where where he's going, this guy. I forget his name. But it's definitely interesting to see how things are turning on and how he's falling with his addiction to drugs and stuff like that. And how, Colleen Wig and Danny, their relationship is pretty interesting, seeing how that goes and back and forth. And then seeing where things go with his brother Ward. And where Ward is his path, I think is pretty cool. I think I like the way it's going with it. Definitely can't wait to see where that's going. I feel like he's going to become a super villain or something like that somehow. If he ends up teaming up with the Hand or something like that, it's going to be interesting to see where things go with that. And things are getting so ramped up. I feel like the end of this episode of this show, episode 13, is probably going to lead right into Defenders, but I feel like it's going to be the timeline in between each show might just be, no more than a week, I would say. But I would even say it being a year, like less than a day in between the end of the 13th episode and this. So this is definitely getting me excited for the rest of this season. And so it definitely is a great episode. There's a lot of action. Love it. I love the dealing with finding out that Madame Gao was literally in Rand Industries, and how deep everyone is in Rand Industries, and he's looking into his father and stuff, finding that there's nothing. There's only his key card and things like that. Which I definitely can't wait to see him talk to Danny talk to Joy about it, and see if what he thinks about it, what she thinks about this, if she even knew about this or anything like that. So it's definitely really interesting. And even with now that spoiler alert, Harold is dead. But that was pretty interesting seeing that. And I was never sure, like, is he good, is he bad, is he, he's with the Hand, but he doesn't want to be with the Hand, and things like that. It's all messed up, and definitely can't wait to see how things continue on, find out, is Joy going to find out that her father was alive and then killed by her brother? I mean, I think that's really going to mess her up if he does do something like that, if things happen like that. That'll be really interesting to see how that goes, how does he, because, I definitely can't wait to see how things are going to happen. I mean, is someone going to find the bodies and stuff, and then he's going to get in trouble, and that's how she's going to find out and all that stuff, and, he's going to be there, and it's going to be a really big mess of a thing like that. And I think it's really interesting to see how they're dealing with, the Hand being inside of Rand Industries. I mean, I think it's cool that they're setting that up that way, for Defenders. He doesn't have, all of his, I mean, it seems like he still has his money because he still has his expensive apartment, his expensive car, and things like that. So even if we go into, into defenders, and he doesn't have the company, but he has all that, then he might have some of that to do. But then again, with all of his good and wanting to help and stuff like that, I could see him, at the end of this episode, donating all of his money to someone, or putting all of his own money into something. That way in defenders he doesn't have a cent to carry on. All he has is literally his fist, and stuff like that, and the other defenders. So I think that's going to be interesting to see how we go into defenders with that, and how things continue on from there. So it definitely is interesting. I definitely hope that by the end of this season, maybe he kind of learns to use his chi a little bit better, because there's talking about times where people are like, oh, can you show me the Iron Fist? And like, no, I can't do it. Then again, he just kind of opens up the elevator and just turns on his Iron Fist like nothing. So it kind of seems a bit weird, as he is able to do it this time, sometimes not the other times. But then again, for the elevator, I guess it makes sense that he was spying on Gao, he was looking at her, he was going that, he fought the other girl, so he's been as he's getting mad type thing, he's able to use it, something like that. So I think it's kind of I guess that's where it makes sense that he's able to just turn it on for the elevator, to go to slide down the elevator like he did. But I definitely can't wait to see him. I like to see him learn to use more of his chi, be able to use it a little bit more frequently for defenders. Hopefully that'll be interesting to see something like that, if he can learn that. Maybe he meets Stick in the defenders and Daredevil, and then they teach each other different steps to make themselves better and stuff like that, and things like that could help him with his chi or something like that. I think that would definitely be fun to see that. And then also I think it'd be cool to see Iron Fist teach Jessica Jones some to meditate and stuff like that. Or I don't know, I feel like Luke Cage might be able to meditate. I mean, he will be in prison right now as we currently watching this show, so I definitely can't wait to see maybe but I think it'd definitely be interesting to see Iron Fist try and teach Jessica Jones to meditate. I think that'll be fun to see that, and see how she would do it, and if she's how long she would last to be able to try and meditate. I think that'd be funny to see that in Defenders. So definitely is a fun episode, this episode, and I love where things are going with this, and I definitely can't wait to see episode 8. But I gotta go to work, so yeah. Let me know what you think, guys, about episode 7 in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist Season 1, Episode 8, Blessing of Many Fractures. Wow, what an episode. This episode was pretty cool. There's a few parts that kind of... this episode was pretty really cool. I really liked this episode. A lot of action, a lot of things, especially with them dealing in China and fighting and stuff. There's a few things, though, at the end that was kind of interesting. I mean, it was interesting seeing Joy and Ward and seeing what they're going through, and seeing how things go with that, and him, about to tell her, not about to tell her, then about to tell her, and then not about to tell her, all that stuff. And thinking this, like, oh my god, how is this going to go? I really was hoping, kind of disappointed though that he ended up not telling her, but I could see what he's going to do, tell her. It wouldn't make no sense for him as a character to tell her, but at the same time, I really want him to tell her. It wouldn't make sense for him to tell her, but at the same time, if it came from her, if she heard it from him, I want to see her reaction for that. And now we're not going to get that, so I definitely can't wait to see if she, figures it out. Figures it out now. If she looks into it and finds out, or something like that. Or I don't know. I definitely can't wait to see if she finds out about her father, only recently dying and stuff, and she had no idea. But then. And then getting to some of the things over when they were in China with Danny and them. Colin had a fight with this girl, the cool sword fight where the two of them went off. But she ends the sword fight just by biting their opponent in the head with the end of the sword. I mean, come on. I mean, she has this sword and she hasn't even chopped anyone up yet. I mean, you saw in Daredevil, when he was fighting the Hand, he got chopped up, he got bloody, there was a sword, there was stabs, there was this, he even got hooked in his stomach and dragged by a guy, by one of the Hand members. So yet Colleen refuses to hurt anyone, not even just not kill them, just chop an arm off or chop a hand off or a finger off or something, rather than just butting it. It was just kind of anticlimactic to the end. It was just such a cool fight, and when you saw them, the two they both looked and made eye contact. They both started sword fighting, they both knew their stuff, and they were fighting, and she just butts her at the end of her sword. That was kind of stupid. I didn't like that. And then at the end of the fight there with everyone was pretty cool. It's cool seeing Claire putting this on, but I'm glad she didn't do. I was like, let's say, what is she gonna do? Because she's only had like one lesson, and yeah, she's done a bit of things with Daredevil, Luke Cage, Jessica Jones. She didn't do any much fighting with her. Mostly just helped Luke in that. But it was definitely interesting seeing her put on those things and fighting, and Danny finding out that that Gao actually killed his parents, and her Gao's reaction. It's only the first time we've seen Gao after all she's been through in these shows. It's the first time we've seen her kind of like terrified of the Iron Fist and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool, and it was finally cool seeing Claire and Colleen finally saw the Iron Fist. I mean, Colleen saw it, earlier on when in the truck, which was following it, when they had the chemist. But now she really saw it, and so that was pretty cool. Although I think having the wooden door behind Gao was kind of like, okay, it's just a piece of wood. Whereas if it would have been a solid brick wall that he just punched right through and the whole wall came down or something like that, that would have been way more interesting rather than just punching through a wooden door. But then in the end, the splintering of the stuff was probably a lot easier to do practically and actually explode the wood and stuff rather than from the outside perspective rather than an actual brick wall. But I just think it would have looked more cool. It would have seemed more powerful if it hadn't been wood door. But then again, maybe it's just my preference for that. But other than that, it was definitely a cool episode. Oh, I loved how Claire was on the plane ride to Toronto. She was reading a letter from Luke Cage, which kind of has me curious. That I remember that from the Luke Cage show. If you've watched that, the last thing we saw was that the bearded guy, the goatee guy, has in Pop's shop found the file that'll exonerate him and that'll get Luke Cage out. So definitely can't wait to see. Hopefully maybe that guy shows up in this series, and then he meets up with Claire or something. Because I think does he know Claire? I forget if they met in the Luke Cage show or not. And then, to see in the end of this series, see her get with him and be like, oh, damn it, I got the right guy, who this? And she can hand this to Matt Murdock or Foggy Nelson or Danny might even have his own lawyer. What's his face there from Jessica Jones? I can't think of her name, but Trinity from Matrix there, I forget her name. But I definitely can't wait to see how that, if we see that in this show, or if Defenders start off with that, to see how long he spends in that. Because hopefully I don't want to have to spend too much time in Defenders trying to get Luke Cage out of the thing. I want him to be out within the first episode. Maybe it begins with him Daredevil as his lawyer, getting him out of prison, and then he's out, by the first half of the first episode, or something like that. I think that would be cool to see that, rather than spending a few episodes trying to get Luke Cage out of prison. I think that would be annoying, rather than just, getting him right out of prison. And then if we go to prison with Luke Cage, do we see Kingpin? That's gonna be cool to see if we see Vincent D'Onofrio in that. I doubt it though. But I just don't want to spend too much time in prison for the Defender, so we'll have to wait and see though how that happens and see what's going on here. But I guess I don't think that Claire's seen that file that the guy picked up in the end of the Luke Cage show, so I definitely can't wait to see where things go with this and how her story ends in this thing with Luke Cage and all that stuff. So it definitely is cool seeing all that, and so definitely is fun. Definitely can't wait to see where things go with this. I really like this episode, and I really liked all the fighting and stuff. It was pretty cool. It was really interesting to see where things go. So let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. Episode 8 of Iron Fist, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace! Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist Season 1, Episode 9, The Mistress of Agony, of All Agony. This episode was pretty interesting. I mean, they went in last episode. They got Chang, the girl, and it was definitely interesting to see how they dealt with it, Madame Gao and stuff, and how they had her and Colleen getting poisoned and stuff. And it was definitely interesting to see where things went with that, and then seeing him use his chi to kind of heal her. That was pretty cool seeing that. And I definitely can't wait to see where things go with this. And I knew there was something about Colleen Wing, but they're not telling. She wasn't telling Danny, so it's gonna be interesting to see where things go with that. And next episode coming up, but. So it's gonna be fun to see where that goes, and I definitely like where things are heading right now. It was just cool seeing. I can't wait to see how we deal with next episode. Are we going to stay with Claire? Are we going to stay with Danny and Colleen, who's gone off wherever? But there was one thing that was really annoying. That guy in the who took over the that shop there. Who took over the fry truck or something like that, making these shurikens out of tinfoil. I mean, really? That makes no sense that these tinfoil shurikens can stick into the metal. That is so retarded. Like whose idea was that to make that? I mean, it's not like he... I don't know. Wow, I just doesn't make sense. Now, maybe I could see someone believing it if we saw him use something like the Iron Fist in his chi, and like if Danny did it, and with both his hands on glowing, and he forged them into things, maybe. But even then, that would still be kind of cheesy. Just him just folding these things into, oh wow, was that bad? It was terrible. I just don't know what the point of it is, and hopefully it doesn't do anything, because like, why would someone make shurikens out of out of tinfoil? It's like, may as well make it out of paper. It's just garbage. Wow, that's stupid. That was a stupid thing. That really just brought me out of the episode and just went, holy crap, that's garbage. That's whoever's idea was that needs to be fired, because that was stupid. But getting to the big twists and turns and stuff with Harold coming back to life, and Joy finally seeing her father and stuff, and seeing how that's going to go on, and then hearing Ward talking to the Hatchet Men guys, and finding out that every time he comes back to life, his father it's going to be crazier and crazier until eventually he's just going to be unstoppable crazy and stuff like that. So it's going to be interesting to see where things go with that, and how now that he's going to jail and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be interesting to see how no one's gonna believe him other than maybe Danny or something. So it's gonna be interesting to see. I guess Danny's gonna have to obviously fight Harold, and it's gonna see where that goes with that, and how is he gonna kill him permanently? Is the Iron Fist the only thing that can kill him permanently? That's gonna be interesting to see where that goes. Or is Harold going to lead into the Defenders? I think hopefully not. But it's going to be interesting to see where things go with Joy and stuff like that, and how she continues on. Hopefully she survives this. But I could see her probably dying throughout this thing to really have him to fight for. I mean, also with Colleen Wing, when the poison, it was kind of there. I didn't feel like there was much, like, oh, is she going to die or not? Because pretty sure I know she's going to be in the Defenders, so I think it was even set photos of her with the whole Defenders, and she's been seen, she is part of the Defenders, so I think it's going to be fun to see her in that, and that's why there's no kind of like, oh, she's going to die in this thing. So overall, this episode was kind of interesting, somewhat, especially I didn't see the Harold coming back. I didn't see that happening. But it definitely makes you to see where things go with that, and it kind of gives me ideas. Is that's what Elektra is from Daredevil season 2. She was the Black Sky, or she is a Black Sky, and she's so is she unkillable too? Is she gonna come back? I mean, the end of Daredevil season 2 kind of hinted at they were going to bring her back. So now is she going to become one of these killing machines and these, unkillable things, just like Harold is, That's going to be interesting to see where that goes with that, and how things continue on from here. And then also, is Harold going to tell Joy that, Ward killed him the second time and all that stuff? That's going to be interesting to see where that goes. I don't think so, but it's going to be interesting to see where that goes. Also, it was pretty cool. I think I don't forget if it was this episode or an episode ago when Joy mentioned that she hired a private eye. I wish she would have just name dropped Jessica Jones. I don't know why they didn't name drop Jessica Jones. It would have been kind of silly, which just kind of hinted at it. Her, and she said it's like, it's Jessica Jones, but without saying it. But it was just like, why not just say it? God, it would have been interesting to see. Maybe they could have somehow had some of those photos be kind of, I don't know, it just would have been interesting if they should just name drop Jessica Jones. So it's going to be interesting to see where things continue on from here. I kind of like it so far as things continue on. But then again, still not enough Iron Fist, not enough of his fist and stuff. But it's really interesting to see where things go on from here, and how things kind of unfold and kind of build up to the Defenders and stuff as we continue on from here. So definitely was an interesting episode. But those throwing stars, this thing, it was just retarded. That was like, oh my God, that was stupid. Whoever's idea was that, and it's like, oh yeah, that'll fly. That makes sense, you know. So it's interesting to see where that guy continues on, and if he's, you know, part of the hand, part of something or something like that. And then it was kind of interesting. It was kind of weird when Madame Gao and like the men were dropping in through the building with the holes and stuff, and they were military guys, and you know Iron Fist just took them all out. And it's like, well, they're the hand. Are they not? You know, like they're supposed to be give him fight, you know, and stuff like that. So it was kind of weird. And you know, even one of them, someone even said, I think it was Claire, who even said, oh, they're just military or something like that. And it's like, well, then who are they, you know, and why are they there, you know? If they're just police or something like that, then why are they there? She just said that line, and then just kind of nothing came out of it. It was just kind of like, okay. So are they connected to, was it actually Colleen Sensei's guys and not Madame Gao's guys? And then Madame Gao talking to, you know, Claire Temple and threatening her mother. You know, is the death of her mother, is that what's going to make Claire bring all the Defenders guys together because of her mother and stuff like that, and that's what's going to make it go? Or maybe they threaten her mother and actually injure her mother, but don't actually kill her, and that's when she kind of brings all the Defenders guys together, something like that. I don't know. That's going to be interesting to see where things go with that, and see where she does some how things continue on. Hopefully, I'd like to see if we end up seeing the rest of the Defender characters in the end of this episode. Maybe, you know, like literally we see them picking up the phone or something like that. Just a scene of that. Since this, if I'm not mistaken, this show did end filming like a week before this show ended filming, a week before the Defender started filming. So there was like not much time in there. So the actors could have been on set ready for the Defenders while they were filming the last episode of this. So hopefully, but we're gonna have to wait and see where things go with this. But definitely is interesting to see where things go. So there was a few things in this episode that were just kind of like the shurikens. Oh my god, those, it just drives me crazy. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist, Season 1, Episode 10, Black Tiger Steals Heart. Wow, what an episode. This episode was really interesting. I mean, seeing, Danny waking up, with the hand and all that stuff, and finding out that there's, that Colleen's part of the hand and stuff, which is something that I'm not sure. I haven't read much about Colleen Wig, so in the comics, so I really don't know if that's something from the comic books or if that's something they changed. But I mean, I definitely knew that there was, I did watch a few videos about, origin of Colleen Wig online and stuff like that. And, I think it is definitely part of her having her master and stuff and wanting to fight the hand and stuff like that. But the whole twist of her being kind of part of the hand is it kind of interesting. Definitely can't wait to see where that goes. And with, I think she's supposed to be in the Defenders, but if, she's part of the hand, how could she be in the Defenders? And is she in the Defenders as good, how is that going to work? It's going to be interesting to see how that continues on, and what Claire's reaction is going to be to all this, and how she's going to deal with that. It's going to be interesting to see where that goes. And then Joy and Harold doing stuff together and trying to get back Rand and stuff, and finding a way to get back Rand. And interesting though that we didn't see anything of Ward this episode. I don't think he was even in this episode at all. We didn't see anything about him in prison or in therapy or rehab or something like that. Where Danny was in the second episode, which is interesting to see where things go with that and see how things continue on from here. So it was kind of cool seeing Danny and his friend there from Kunlun, kind of fighting and stuff. I was surprised. I was glad that the guy didn't use any of his tinfoil throwing stars, because those are stupid. But the fight was pretty cool. I mean, it's just a lot of these times where, oh my god, there's these big epic fight scenes, and it's like perfect times to do a Daredevil style full on, one take shot, or just epic, realistic fighting and stuff like that. And it just doesn't work out as well as it. There's like an opportunity there to do it. If you did it in Daredevil, just do it here. We're after seeing Daredevil, and we're kind of expecting tons of that, of great fighting and different style, but kind of still one shot stuff. Would be really cool to see, and see him really do stuff. And I definitely can't wait to see him continuing on with here and him. I think I like the way he was kind of before the reveal of that they were the Hand and stuff, I was kind of liking the way, I forget the guy's name, but her master there, Colleen's sensei, how he was teaching Danny more about the Iron Fist, and he knows a bit about it, and he was teaching him about how to use it, how to recharge his chi, and I think that was a cool idea, because I remember watching like the cartoons, I think it's the Ultimate Spider-Man with Iron Fist in it, and in that episode, in that thing, he used it all the time. Now it's a cartoon, maybe they changed things up there, and it's totally different, because they can use it every single episode and have him use it every single time he fights. He always has the Iron Fist, which I'd like to see that more, whereas anytime he wants to fight, whenever he wants, he always has the Iron Fist. He just fight mode, boom, activate it, control it, just like that. Like Wolverine and his claws, they come out super easily. I think they'd be. I'd like to see him use his Iron Fist a lot more often. So hopefully by the end of this season, maybe he can become like that and go into the Defenders, being able to use his Iron Fist, and as much more as possible. When someone asks him, "Can I see the Iron Fist?" and he could just go and just do it. I think that would be quite interesting. I mean, yeah, it takes 5 minutes to kind of maybe charge it up or something like that, but be able to do it even outside of battle. I think I would be interested to see that. Or if not, by the end of this show, maybe someone like Stick or Daredevil himself could help teach him to clear his mind and stuff like that. His own Daredevil could have his own meditating techniques that he learned from Stick, or Stick could be in there, or even Elektra, unless she's the bad guy in the Defenders too. We'll have to wait and see how that goes. But it definitely was fun with this, and I definitely can't wait to see where things continue on from here. Like I said, the fighting was, like I said, there's still like opportunities missed here to do other Daredevil awesome fight scenes, but yet they don't compare to Daredevil. So it's just kind of like, so just I like where things are going. I really want to hurry up and kind of build things up towards the Defenders and stuff. It really doesn't leave where I can't wait to see where things continue on here in the next 3 episodes, and see if we end up seeing Sigourney Weaver, any of the Defenders, any of the other guys. But we'll see what happens in the next 3 episodes. So let me think, guys, about episode 10 of Iron Fist, season 1, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist season 1, episode 11. Lead horse back to the stable. This episode was interesting. I mean, it was there's a lot of talking in this episode. It's hard, not like just kind of boring and not much fighting involved and stuff. And it was cool seeing him and then I guess it was interesting kind of seeing Colleen Wig finally figured out like that the hand is bad and all that stuff, but it just didn't really seem like it furthered on anywhere. I mean, there's just talk of Danny and his friend there from Kunlun, and just kind of talking about how why'd you leave, and he never really says why he leaves, and there's a flashbacks to Kunlun, yet we never see the dragon or anything like that, which is kind of silly. It's like, okay, it just seemed like this episode was just kind of whoops, we have we don't have enough story for we need an extra filler. This seems like a filler episode type thing, just because there was a lot of talking, especially at the end in the car and stuff, and it was just kind of dragging on. And I don't know, this episode was really bad. It was just kind of slowly talking. It wasn't not for it to be the third to last episode, episode 11 of 13, there was nothing happened in this episode. So other than Colleen, finally figuring out that the hand is bad and stuff, and I guess it was kind of interesting seeing her, I guess they were about to do the blood thing that they'd had from Daredevil season 2, that brought Nobu back, and it's going to bring Elektra back and stuff for Defenders. So it's going to be interesting to see. It would have been cool to actually see her in this. Maybe we see Elektra in that thing, or maybe it would have been cool to see Nobu or something like that in this episode, but there was nothing here. It was just kind of a boring episode, but hopefully things will start to get more interesting in the last 2 episodes. So let me know what you think, guys, about episode 11 of Iron Fist in the comments below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist season 1, episode 12, Bar the Big Boss Fight. or Bar the Big Boss. This episode was quite cool. I mean, it was cool seeing all the fight scenes and stuff, but some of the things in the fight scenes were like, oh my god, that was okay. So that was wiring. It was kind of obvious the way that it was, wired effective. Just they'd be fighting, and all of a sudden someone would just jump, but that was just a little too much, and it was just like. It was just a little too too high of a jump for no reason. It was just kind of silly. It just took me out of the episode, and it was just kind of silly. And then it's interesting though with the ending though. It was kind of cool, I guess, with the DEA agents there and the real police officers. Is this what they are, or is it still what the guys Hollings sensei? Is it still his guys dressed up as these things? So it's gonna be interesting to see where things go from here, and then see where things go on from this. But it was just kind of the whole like them doing this thing. I didn't really get that part of it. They were both doing their cheese stuff as if nothing was happening, and they were just staying in the most obvious spot. I mean, it just made no sense. But it was interesting that calling Sensei didn't mention about someone who's higher than him in the rankings and stuff. So hopefully he's talking about Sigourney Weaver's character and whoever she is, and maybe we'll get her in the next episode. We'll have to wait and see. But it's definitely going to be fun to see where things go from here, and I definitely can't wait to see how things end in the next episode. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys, about episode 12. Definitely can't wait to see where things go, see if Joy survives it, and see where things continue on from here. So definitely, I kind of like where things are going on, but it was still kind of slow this episode. But it's still, the fights were okay when they weren't doing the wirings. So it's weird. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys, about episode 12 in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace. Hey guys, just finished watching Iron Fist Season 1, Episode 13, Dragons Play with Fire. This episode, the ending of this show, was kind of interesting. It was kind of cool. It was really cool seeing him. You finally use the Iron Fist to kind of smash in the ground, and explosions went everywhere, and it kind of cleared out the whole big explosion from the whole floor and stuff. That was pretty cool with that. I just kind of feel like I wish it would have this would have led right into Defenders a little bit more with the ending of this. I mean, it kind of does with spoilers, I guess, of the hand destroying all of Kunlun and type thing, and ending that. But I think it would have been cool to see Daredevil, fucking Nelson, someone else at the end of this episode, or Claire say something that would kind of full on say, you know what, I think we need some help with this, and then boom, have that be the end of the show. It's just Claire saying, I think you're gonna need some of my friends for this, or something like that, and then just ending on that. That would have been really interesting to see that. But it's gonna be interesting to see how far and how long Netflix Defenders picks up right after this. Does he get right back and then boom, they're the Defenders type thing? How long does Luke Cage spend in prison? In between the end of his show and Defenders, how long is he in prison for? And all that stuff, and how long does they take to get him out? But in this episode was pretty cool with the death of Harold, and finally killing Harold properly. And then the idea with Joy. I mean, the ending with Joy and stuff, and her with the other guy from Kunlun. Is he working for Gao? And does Joy all of a sudden want to kill Danny out of nowhere? That makes no sense. I mean, she was so mad at her father when he framed Danny, and now she kind of wants to kill him or something like that. I really don't get that at the end. So the ending there with her was just kind of weird. And I really didn't understand. Is Gao? Is that other Kunlun guy? Is he working with Gao? Is that why she was there, or is she just there listening on their conversation? I didn't understand her part there and how that was working or something like that. And and Joy, does she want to kill Danny? Does she want Danny out of the way for the for her so she can run the company and all that stuff alone? I mean, it makes no sense for her to want to do that. She's been the one who's who's felt bad about everything from the first few episodes with the cancer people and stuff. So it really just doesn't make sense that all of a sudden she wants to kill Danny, if that's what they're going at. So that was just really vague, really weird. But it was kind of cool. It was kind of disappointing though at the end when Danny was fighting Harold and stuff, and he saw, and it flashed back to the dragon. You saw the eyes, and that's it. And it was like, come on, I would have liked to have seen the entire face of the dragon, at least one shot of it, and that was kind of disappointing. But it was cool seeing him use the Iron Fist to deflect the bullet and stuff. That was pretty cool. And then seeing the guy fall down. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what things continue on from here and see how much time goes in between, defenders, and how much time does that give Claire Temple to train with Colleen Wing, or I guess if they're going to go back and attack the Hand or something like that, it's going to be interesting to see how long that takes place and stuff, and where things continue on from here. And just definitely just to jump into the defenders, finding out, Claire, what Karen Page thinks of now that she knows that Matt Murdock is Daredevil and all that stuff, how their relationship's going to go, and how, Jessica Jones and Luke Cage's relationship's going to be at the end of, in Defenders and stuff like that. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see where things continue on from here and how things continue. And does Claire get Matt Murdock or, I forget her name, Jerry Hogarth, to get Luke Cage out of prison, What is that guy, the guy with the goatee there from Luke Cage, what is he doing with the file? How long has it been? Has he had the file and stuff? What is he doing with that? Does he not realize what it is? He's just a guy who plays chess at a barber shop, but still, he's going to do something with that file. So yeah, this episode was kind of, there's some parts that were just kind of confusing. And then going back to the episode when that the Kunlun guy, when we first got introduced, he was making those throwing stars out of what is it, tinfoil. That went nowhere, which I'm glad. They were just kind of silly. He was just making throwing like that was just kind of stupid and silly and crazy. I'm glad he never used them. They could have just deleted them out and wouldn't change the story whatsoever, and taken that whole part out, which I don't know why they left that in there. It feels like something they left in, and whatever, it was just kind of silly. So yeah, I definitely can't wait to see where things continue on from here. I guess Danny didn't learn how to really harness his chi or recharge his chi faster than it usually takes. Hopefully he learns that. Maybe something, like I said, like I've been saying through all my reviews, maybe someone like Stick or Daredevil or I'm trying to think about Stick or Daredevil could teach Danny some some meditating tips, and that would help him learn to recharge his chi. I think that would definitely be cool to see that. And then also Danny Rand using his helping Daredevil with his hearing and and listening for different things, kind of like with Stick in the second season, when Stick was like, don't listen for the for the Hand's heartbeats because they slow their heartbeat way down. Listen to their weapons and things like that. Very, very quiet things, stuff like that. And that's going to be interesting to see Danny and Iron Fist and Matt Murdock really go up against each other and kind of learning off of each other and using different things. So this whole season, I kind of liked some of it, but there are a lot of faults in this and just kind of things that were just kind of slow, and there wasn't enough, of him using his fist, and the thing at the end where he hit the ground and goes like that. I want that to happen every third episode. Big explosions using his fist like that in every third episode, just like in the cartoons where he uses it every single episode, and every time he's fighting, he's always using the Iron Fist. Even sometimes two hands. Now that's just cartoons. It's just cartoons, but that's what we want from the show for Iron Fist, is him to use it, all the time. So hopefully he'll get better in Iron Fist in Defenders, and we'll have to wait and see how that turns out. But also I was hoping maybe to see some sort of trailer at the end of this thing, but we'll have to wait and see where things go from here. And just waiting for the Defenders now. So let me know what you think, guys, about Iron Fist episode 13. What do you think of the season? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.